numbers are sobering. 1 in 3 women will be a victim of domestic violence. A Maple Grove family wants to help break the chain of domestic violence in memory of a sister named Natalie. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains why they've created a nonprofit called Love Conquers Violence.
The dining room table of Nick and Shelley Beisel's Maple Grove home tells a story. Bracelets, ribbons, photos of a loved one whose legacy lives on.
You would always see this bright light of sunshine when you see Natalie, and that's who she was.
Natalie Beisel was in her last year of medical school in Arizona back in 2015. Her drive to become a doctor did not surprise her family.
We always talk about her caring personality, so she cared so much about the patients and the people that she wanted to be able to help them.
But Natalie's life was cut far too short when her boyfriend shot and killed her and then killed himself. Text messages in Natalie's phone revealed an abusive relationship.
That conversation was just there, 2 years worth. And we just read through there the control that he had over her and the way he would intimidate and scare her and tell her she had to be home.
Nick says the family did not realize the extent of the abuse.
We didn't learn any of this until after we were cleaning out her house in Tucson after she was murdered.
There was a period of time where we did beat ourselves up for how could we not have seen it? Why didn't we see it? Why didn't we say anything? Those signs aren't always there and people don't want to talk about them.
But the family decided early on that they would share Natalie's story.
We said we wanted domestic violence presence at her funeral, and we showed up to this beautiful Natalie symbol with a butterfly and Love Conquers Violence.
Over time, Love Conquers Violence has become a nonprofit, fueled by fundraisers like Bags for Nat in Minneapolis, which just keeps growing. It raises money for a scholarship in Natalie's name and domestic violence education.
And so if we can help a family, you know, this is why we do what we do. And we get to tell Natalie's story. We get to talk about how awesome she was.
In Maple Grove, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The Bags for Nat fundraiser to toss out domestic violence will be Saturday, August 3rd at the Herkimer Brewery. We've got more information on the fundraiser on our website. Now, there are warning signs to help detect signs of an abuser. They include things like extreme jealousy and possessiveness to a bad temper and verbal abuse, as well as blaming the victim for anything bad that happens. For more information and resources, find links through our website, ccxmedia.org. This weekend marks a new beginning for softball fans in the city of Crystal. Welcome Park is the new home of Crystal's primary softball field. The city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony Thursday night to celebrate its grand opening in conjunction with the start of Crystal Frolics. The new field is the city's first in 30 years and comes with lights, irrigation, and fencing. The city built the Welcome Park softball field to replace the ones in Becker Park. That park is currently under construction. Finding yourself paralyzed from an accident or stroke usually means you can't do things you used to enjoy. But Golden Valley-based Courage Kenny is working to make that new reality a little less daunting at the Plymouth golf course. Here's reporter Shannon Slatton.
Sarah Chambers loves to golf, but
she had a stroke 4 years ago.
That left her unable to speak well, which is why her niece Marie talked with us for her.
And she's partially paralyzed on her right side.
And that meant golfing was out until Courage Kenny came along.
For many of them, it was kind of like a death sentence because they couldn't do one of their favorite activities anymore.
Charles Chapman has been teaching or reteaching golf to people with disabilities for 10 years.
We've been able to help those people with the help of these special carts in the program learn how to come back out and continue to play the game that they really love.
That special cart can mean the difference between playing and sitting on the sidelines.
It's a very expensive cart, but it is extremely capable in terms of being able to strap a person who is essentially immobile into a actual golfing position.
The Para-Golfer is a combination golf cart and standing power wheelchair. Its big tires let it roll over even putting greens without damage. And being able to stand makes golfing much more natural.
Standing's not as easy as you think it is until you have to learn it over again.
It's so capable, it's got Sarah's stamp of approval.
What did you think of this cart? There you go. She was happy. She was really happy.
Sarah has to relearn how to swing a club using only her left hand. That's tough, but the adaptive golf program makes it possible. And that makes it easier to look forward to the next day.
That's why Sarah is here, because she's feisty, and she hasn't given up ever, even though it's been 4 years.
The adaptive golf program is always looking for equipment and volunteers. If you'd like to help out or participate, check out our website for more information. The music department at the Plymouth Middle School needs drums. The Timpani drums the students are currently using are more than 50 years old and cannot be repaired. So this past week, parents held a community garden sale in Golden Valley to raise money for the new drums. More than 30 families came together to collect and donate more than 5,000 items for the sale. So far, they've raised $2,000 from the garage sale. If you'd like to donate to the cause for the new drums, contact Plymouth Middle School.
The Pan American Games are underway in Peru. Former Hopkins High School and University of Minnesota All-American Samantha Seliger-Swenson is on the USA Volleyball team. As John Jacobson found out, it's been a busy 7 months since she graduated from the U of M.
Well, once I graduated from the U, I went out to California to start training with the Team USA, and I was there for quite some time and just worked out and played volleyball every day. With some new USA girls and some other girls that have been to 2+ Olympics, so it was really cool and a really good experience. So I think a lot of the things that I learned from Minnesota I had to take with me into this new experience, because it's a whole new ball game and all of the women are a lot more advanced than they are in the NCAA. So I've really had to grow and kind of grasp onto some of those lessons that I've learned at Minnesota.
You're headed back to California, and then tell me what's up next with the USA Volleyball.
I'm going to Peru in August to go to the Pan American Games, which is a multi-sport event. It's kind of like a mini Olympics, so that'll be a fun thing with opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies, and then just playing in that tournament for Team USA. And then there's another tournament in Colorado, and then I head off to France to start my first professional season.
How much fun is it to wear the USA jersey in competition like this?
It's really cool. I mean, I think I felt it for the first time on the 4th of July, even though I wasn't playing in a tournament. It was just a really cool moment to know that I'm representing the USA, and so it's a really special thing.
Will it be weird when you get to about September 1st and you're not going back to college, going back to school?
Yeah, it really will be. I've been back to the U for the team camps that they've been having, just a couple days to see all my teammates and the coaches and stuff, and they're all gearing up for preseason, and it's just weird not being there, but I'm excited for the new adventure.
The club in France that you're going to be playing for, how did that opportunity come about?
So I have an agent, and he works to find a contract for me, and so this came about a couple months ago, and so I thought it was a really good opportunity. The location is really cool, and it's a pretty good league to start out in.
Team USA's first match at the Pan Am Games is August 7th. As we near the end of July, fall high school athletes will soon be making the transition from summer training to team practices. On this week's Workout Warriors, we complete our tour of athletes in District 279 with a visit to Maple Grove. Maple Grove football player Cooper Wegscheid and his teammates hit the ground running and lifting in the summer.
So Monday through Thursday, we start in the weight room at 7:30. We work out for about an hour, then we go out to the field, do our skill position stuff, then we do conditioning for another probably 15-20 minutes. That ends around 10:30. Go home and just do whatever you need for the day. I mean, it's fun throughout the whole year, but at the end, everything gets a little bit harder conditioning, so you really have to, it's more of discipline than motivation.
At 5'6", and that may be a stretch, number 3 Wegscheid is strong and quick and has made himself into a valuable defensive player.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been a smaller guy, so I really try to focus on my speed and my strength as much as I can. Kind of helps me to play with a chip on my shoulder too. It's one of my biggest things. But yeah, I mean, you got to put on some weight in the weight room, or else, I mean, I don't think I'd be able to do what I do.
Cooper has no doubt the summer work he puts in has made a big difference in his play.
You can really tell a huge difference. From my sophomore year to my junior year, I got a lot stronger, I got a lot faster, and I can really tell on the field. Everything we do in here translates out to the field, from running to just lifting and everything.
On the day we visited, Wegscheid and his teammates finished a grueling session with their dreaded timed mile run. He may not enjoy it, but Cooper embraced the challenge of getting out of his comfort zone.
I'm not the best long distance runner because I'm just not really built for that, but I work towards it in order to get it done. So you got to focus on the things you're not as good at so you can kind of be well-rounded.
Cooper Wegscheid's finding ways to make his small stature an advantage, and his summer training sure doesn't hurt.